No, that's Facebook.
Huh?
It's Facebook.
Oh wow.
Okay. I don't know why it said that. I can still rotate it. You can't rotate.
You can't
But
turn
it's,
your phone while live. That don't make
but
sense.
it's rotated. It's on rotate.
What's going on? What's going on? Nate in the building. What up, homie? Checking in. Honorable representative. Always got right on. That's his hashtag. When I see right on, I already know. I already know who that is.
Right on.
Yeah. He was in here vibing for a second, getting this thing ready. Hope everybody had a good weekend. What's happening? IG on, live on YouTube, live on Facebook, on my personal page, Dame and Jarrell, on Horizon Prizes Facebook page as well. Make sure y'all follow us on there.
Tickety top.
And TikTok.
TikTok.
Sis got TikTok up, y'all. I'm not hitting on that yet.
You're not hitting on
I
TikTok.
ain't hitting on TikTok at all. Hey, make sure y'all save this thing. Well, not save it, but share it.
Definitely share it.
Definitely share it. I can't see back there. I can't. What up, Q?
You be trying.
What up, Q? I be trying to. I swear to God, I do. I do. Come on in, man. We're going to have a good conversation. First week back, after a special holiday, last Monday. I don't know what it is about holidays falling on Monday, but again.
People, y'all ask what holiday. What holiday was y'all off? Was the kids out of school?
They should have been. They should have been. They should have been out of school last Monday. Not this Monday. We ain't talking about today. Wasn't today like a holiday?
I think.
Was it Columbus Day or some bullshit?
Indigenous people holiday.
Oh, my bad.
But it's both of them. That's what's crazy.
How? Make that make sense.
We can't.
If we're going to celebrate Christopher Columbus and his discovery of America, I don't know how you can discover some shit that was already here. Yeah. People was already here.
The foolery.
I don't understand it.
The foolery. But then you're going to have indigenous people holiday. I was telling somebody that don't make no sense. Indigenous people day on the same day as Columbus Day.
That's stupid. That's stupid.
So, it is what it is.
We're going to give people a few minutes to get on in here. So if y'all get an alert from me, a direct message is definitely on Facebook. Make sure y'all tap in. Let me know where y'all at. I know Charlotte is in the building, NC is in the building, definitely SC is in the building, Orangeburg to be specific, in the surrounding areas. We all here.
What's happening? The evolution.
Listen.
Of the entrepreneur.
We gonna dive into that one. That's gonna be a good one. Cause we got some personal stories
for sure
that we definitely want to shed light on today. So make sure y'all stick around. When we get into the meat, we talk about some entrepreneurial stuff, on every single episode.
Sometimes people think because some of the conversations that we have had, because the podcast or the conversations are around entrepreneurship and your journey,
right?
People forget about the personal,
right,
relationships and the personal things you go through as an entrepreneur,
right? So
talking about the personal stuff is just as important as what we're going to talk about tonight. But the entrepreneur, you're a person, so you're going to have a little bit of personal, hiccups and relationships that don't work out. You got them stories, but then, we're going to talk about that evolution.
But before we get into the evolution, right, as we always do each and every time here on, Be About Your Business podcast, first and foremost, if you have just tuned in for the first time, I don't know where you've been. You're behind up on the rock somewhere. But anyway, thankful for you being here. And I'm one of the hosts.
So it's gotta be something with the stream,
Yeah.
Oh, all right, Tina. But Facebook told me that I couldn't. Facebook said, well, you can't, but then I said, well, why?
Why can't I, right?
And so Tina said, why y'all sideways?
Can y'all hear us now?
She said, Kim said it's distorted.
Is it still like that?
Wanda says sounds robotic. Thank you for letting me know. Oh, it's better. It's choppy like a speaker box.
I don't want to be like no speaker box.
Can you think it should go if we go off? Go off StreamYard.
Well, how about this, y'all? We gonna make this thing work. I promise y'all.
Do what it do.
Hey, but y'all be patient. But anyway,
technology. We're gonna talk about that check. That effect. I don't know what it is, because then I think when people see it, they feel like you're available.
Yeah.
Or it could be like 11, 12 o'clock at night, and people think that you're on Facebook, and I'm like, don't send me no messages, it's no DMs or nothing.
Don't do none of that, man.
I don't even know how to turn the daggone thing off, but I'm gonna figure it out because I'm tired of people asking me that. Like, hey, you always showing you active, and I wonder if it's active. It'll show you active like when you post.
I don't know. I just know that I don't appreciate none of it. like for real.
But
that's just weird.
Yeah, and I think if you don't have my phone, if you have my phone number, that makes it weirder. So if you have my cell phone number and you send me a Facebook message, I don't understand the whole purpose of it. Like my daughter, like y'all send me like funny videos and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm talking about people that I know, but you have my phone number, but you send me a Facebook message. I'll be trying to figure that stuff out, but anyway.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I don't care. So you can send me a message, send me something, but that Facebook calling thing, man, I'm not with it. All right, so let's see. Because I want to make sure y'all hear all this.
Okay,
there we
now
go.
I see it.
Now we good. I ain't about to type all that. Y'all know who he is. I gotta type something. All right.
I feel like we're making progress. Luckily we weren't late. Then we'd be even.
I know, right? we was actually on point.
It'd be worse. It'd be worse.
Well, that just give people time to get on in here for a little bit. Y'all let me know feedback if you're on Facebook. Let me know if we choppy or not.
Tickety tock, y'all hear me? Well, I'm getting some lights, so y'all must can hear me. I'm pretty good on TikTok. Okay.
I don't understand. Why is it taking forever?
Because there's no we waiting on it. It know.
Man, listen. Technology. Okay, she said we good now.
Okay, cool.
Loud and clear. Okay. All right, bet. So let's do that then. Let's keep it like that.
I guess we got to dive right in. We done talked about the Facebook. Don't DM me, okay?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I mean, even if you DM, you know what I'm saying, like something cool, whatever the case may be, I'm cool with the DMs. But I think it should be like a time frame, like business hours. It should be like an inbox DM etiquette. You know what I'm saying? Like, and unless we together like that, and you know me like that, we done, you know what I'm saying, did I want to or whatever. Like, don't hit me at like 1 o'clock in the morning in the DM. Like,
it might be trouble if we like that. Yeah. If I'm asleep, like you still might
that. Like, listen, man. Like,
but I know, like, sometimes depending on like if one person has Android, the other person has iPhone, then sometimes the Facebook or the Google Meet is how you do your video calls. So,
right.
Nah.
But that's my plight for the day, you guys. Like, it was kind of random, but it wasn't.
It was kind of random. It was kind of random, but it's okay. It's Monday. You know what I mean?
So now that you mentioned money, it's a money making money motivational Monday. Mm-hmm. It's a be about your business Monday as well. And as we do every week here on the podcast, we kind of check in with each other because we want to make sure that we're good emotionally, mentally, physically, all those things. But we also want to make sure that you guys are good. So during this time, while we're talking, y'all talk to us, y'all talk to each other. That's how we do. But I want to know what your number is. 1 to 10. 10 being your best feeling ever. 1 being the suckiest. Well, we're just gonna focus on today, right now, in this moment. What's your number? 10 being the best, 1 being the suckiest. I'm gonna let my sister go first.
What's today? I'm like a 7.5.
I like
8.
that.
You know what I'm saying? At this moment.
At this
moment on this Monday, I'm a strong like spades. I'm a 7 point. I got 7 books and a possible. I got 7 books and a possible.
And depending on
how it goes,
yeah, you might be able to pull 8.
I might be pulling 8.
Now, unless your partner sandbagging,
you know what I'm saying?
Can't count no books. Count those books. All right, Sabrina says she had a 9 over there. I love that. And I don't even know where you at on this continent, but she be traveling. Sabrina be traveling. So I just need to just let me get in the bag.
Cynthia says she had a good 10 on TikTok.
Okay. All right. Our executive producer in the background said that she's a 9. She's a 9. I like that.
Okay.
All right, Kimmy.
9.
Yeah.
What you at?
Man, listen. Today, right now, in this moment, I think I'm about. I want to be kind of like you, sis, like a 7.5. I got more positives than negatives.
Right.
For sure. So it truly depending on my perspective and what I want to focus on. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a lot of things to be thankful for, but I also got some things that can piss the hell out of me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Today. What's up, Donna? That was my people right there down there in the A for the weekend. Awesome class. Learned a lot. Networked with some new people. I'm always about being about my business, and she kind of added to that. So I definitely appreciate that, Donna. So y'all be seeing some stuff. I know I'm talking like around stuff. So you know how I am when I come out with something. Trust and believe I've done my research. I've done my due diligence before I come out with it. You know what I mean? But best go believe y'all will know when y'all know. All right. So I'm gonna keep y'all in suspense for right now. But I think like a good 7.5, 8. I think from a physical standpoint.
What's happening? They're saying it's music. I don't have no damn music in the background.
We have music in the back. Yeah, we was jamming before we came live.
Yeah, Facebook like, we gonna cut off your live.
That's probably what it was. We ain't got copyright. We don't own the rights to this music, so they like to mute shit. Yeah. Excuse me. But we curse anyway. Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah, so like it's gonna be disabled.
Yeah. Anyway. So I mean, I feel good. I'm kind of tired. I drove back from out of town like early this morning. So that kind of drained me. Then got right back to business. So it was nonstop. So but on a positive note, my 49ers won yesterday. And we're still undefeated. 5-0. Yes, and we beat Dallas ass. Like that's. I don't care if we go 1 and whatever. If that 1 win is from Dallas,
I wish I knew why season. Is that such a rival? Is that just why does nobody? Okay, I don't know. It's no longer discoverable, so I'm gonna have to start over.
Yeah, let's start over. But it's not necessarily the team. It's certain fans. Some people, some fans are just not realistic in their goals and their ambitions as being a fan of the Cowboys. What I'm saying? Like they haven't won any haven't been close, sniffed the Super Bowl since like the early 90s. I was in high school. Like this is when the last time they kind of went to a Super Bowl, but every year it's their year. We win every year, and if they win a game, hey, we going to the ship. We going out. There he is.
Oh, that's what he said. He said after last night, I don't think there's anything I need to hear from you, bro.
Hey man, I feel good. I'm sorry. I feel good about that. And of course, last week Well, this entire month is Libra season, so.
Oh Lord.
That's always a good thing.
Because my season coming up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Capricorn season.
For sure.
I don't really, I never really know what the hell none of that means.
You're talking about it's still out of year. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, I'm gonna give that to you, Sabrina. I'm gonna let y'all have that. Hey, Katina. Hey, what's going on? Yes, we've been to the Super Bowl. We've been to the NFC Championship multiple times, bro. Cut it out. Cut it out. We lost the Super Bowl. It's all good. This ain't a sports podcast.
Y'all made it to
we gonna create. We should create a sports podcast so we can talk about these things. But I'm just letting you know how I feel, bro. That's just how I'm feeling right now. I'm on a high. But certain things throughout the day try to bring that number down. We trying to keep it up. So
keep it up.
But
tonight,
like, hey, tonight is a good conversation because I don't know if you've seen my story or the post that we put on Instagram or Facebook, whatever the case may be. But we're talking about the evolution of entrepreneurship or entrepreneurs.
Of the entrepreneur, like evolution of the entrepreneur.
Man, listen, that's a conversation because it's so many reasons why it is a conversation.
Yeah.
And being me, I can just speak from a personal perspective. Everybody generally sees me as a therapist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since I've been in this field probably since 2005.
Yeah.
That's almost 20 years, like 18 years in this game.
Time.
So a lot of people, that's just what they know me as. And, when I present myself, I still, present myself as a mental health professional, a licensed therapist, all of those things. But that's not all I am. And then sometimes we get comfortable in that depiction that people have of us. You know what I mean? And that kind of boxes you in from evolving to doing other things.
Yeah.
And I'm totally not that. I don't like to be boxed in in my personal life, and I damn sure don't want to be boxed in on my professional life.
Yeah.
So talk about that as far as you, because I know that there was an evolution for you in regards to careers and things that you've done, since going into the workforce. Like tell the people kind of like your
evolution is, but it's real, and I'm really glad we talking about it because we were just talking earlier, and it was based on a conversation we had earlier about
right.
how people feel like you should be as an entrepreneur, or people's opinion.
Right.
So for 15, 16 years, I was in law enforcement, and I loved it, but it was also draining. And then, you're dealing with jokers and people that don't really like you. You don't really like them. So you kind of putting up with the fact that I need this job. I got this 401k. I got this pension, retirement.
Right.
And that's what is drilled in our head. So, I took a leave of absence, a mental health leave of absence.
Absolutely.
And I just never went back. And I was like, I'm getting anxiety just talking about going back to this MF. And I was like, okay, it's not going to happen. So before I left, I was already in business, but I was crafting, landscaping, lawn service, because I love working with my hands. And then I was like, okay, is this what I really want to keep doing?
Right.
And the evolution then again went from the workforce, the 8 to 5, to entrepreneurship, kind of part-time, to transportation, really evolving into the person, the business owner, entrepreneur that I am now.
Right.
But that did not come overnight without bumps and bruises,
right.
F-ups, not getting it right, not still trying to figure out like what works, like what's going to work, what's going to make me profitable, but at the same time make me happy.
Right.
And that whole evolution, when people feel like, okay, you're stuck or you're doing one thing, like with therapy, photography, like you feel like, okay, I'm doing this one thing and I need to stick with it and master it. And but when you realize at some point, like you ain't making no dang on money, your profit margin sucks, then how long do you really sit in that?
Right.
Because you are thinking, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like I really want to do this thing, but you ain't making no money. And the marketing plan, if you did one, you kind of realize like, oh shoot, ain't nobody really want what I got. Like it ain't no real need. And as entrepreneurs, you know, you have to be solving a problem.
Yeah.
You have to be, figuring out what that need is. So when you're not doing that, what you do?
And not even just from a financial standpoint, and I know we talk about entrepreneurship here often, but just from a personal standpoint, whether you're in your career, you do 9 to 5, you do corporate America, whatever the case may be. And I think you mentioned this before, maybe even on a previous podcast where we talked about, upbringing, you know what I'm saying, and how we view work, and how that was passed down from our parents, our grandparents, hard work ethic, and all those things, and kind of being able to solidify yourself, as being quote unquote, successful is about your longevity on this particular job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like both our parents worked in factories, assembly lines, the whole nine. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? 25 years in, what you got to show for it?
And you
a
plaque.
That's all you got.
And you can't will that.
Right.
You can't pass that on to any member in your family. You can't be like, oh, well, I'm done. I'm retiring, so here go my kid. They gonna fill in and finish the job.
No, when you retire, you gone. You die, you gone. They gonna hire the next person.
And real quick. So
when you put in a 2-week notice, they already doing interviews.
They're like, can you train this person? We got this person starting on this day. Can you train them on your job? And you can kick rocks on that.
Listen, I'm not that benevolent. I'm not that giving. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the evolution I think is real. Even
why is it a necessity to evolve?
So to me, evolving, if you're not evolving, you're not growing.
Absolutely.
So I always talk about, even when I talk to transportation providers, I'm always like, throw the box away. So if you say that you provide a particular type of service, your business does this thing, then you've already put your business in a box. So for example, like I provide NEMT or non-emergency transportation services, right? But if I decide I want to take students to school, or if I want to take the seniors to bingo with my business, why is it such a big issue? And so if you realize, okay, I'm doing this thing over here, but it's not really getting a lot of traction, I'm not getting a lot of customers, the necessity to change or be able to pivot, transition is about the entrepreneur, the person that started the journey. Because if you kind of like, well, listen, I want to do this. It is gonna work. I ain't going no damn well. We're gonna figure this thing out. But if you don't sit back and look like this ain't working, like, you know what I'm saying,
and take an honest
look at it,
evaluation. You know what I'm saying, of it. Then if you're coming from an ego standpoint, like, and we've talked about this before, talking about trying to make shit work. You know what I'm saying? Like we often do that. That's very general in our life. You're in a fucked up relationship, it's dysfunctional, it's toxic, but because you have a fear of being alone, you deal with the bullshit, right? So same thing in business. Because you fear of trying something else and experiencing failed, a failed relationship, business relationship, whatever the case may be, you just kind of stay with it, and you end up losing money, you causing financial stress, emotional stress, and sometimes, even from a mental health standpoint, like people jump off buildings, you know what I'm saying, and like off themselves and kill themselves because of their inability to accept, hey, something ain't working.
Yeah.
And I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure out what I need to do to fix it.
Something.
You know what I'm saying? So versus getting into solution focus mode, they're worried about this one thing that's not working. When everybody is multifaceted.
Yeah.
You know, we may have a talent or a gift in one particular thing, but you don't know what other gifts that you do have if you never go out there and try them.
And those talents, I feel like, I also think people get stuck on their talents and not what you're gifted at. And I feel like that's a really big difference. So you could be talented. Like I could be talented at crafting, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Doing crafts or making t-shirts, whatever. That's a talent. Like I can make it. Right. I learned how to do it. But your gift is something completely different. Right. So that gift could be how you interact with people, like your ability to build relationships, help other entrepreneurs or business owners grow. Like your gift is something completely different. Your gift could be therapy, like how you're able to work with people, connect with people on different levels, whether they are a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, or if they are some youth that are in the system, that live in a group home. Like that's the difference. And I think sometimes people get stuck on their talents, so they don't want to let the talents go, and then they never really develop or really dive into what their true gift is and getting into that whole purpose, honing into that.
And I think that's a big thing, even though it's kind of universal. You know what I'm saying, as far as the transition and being comfortable in something and then transitioning to something else, whether it's phase of life, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But you know, on a previous platform, you know, where we talked with, you know, former athletes, professional athletes, they often struggle with that transition because all their life, you know, 20, 30 years
they knew that sport.
They knew that sport.
Yeah.
And so now that sport isn't giving back as it previously did, it's kind of like, okay, well, that's all I'm good at. No, you're not. That's the only thing that you focused on
at that time.
During
that time period. But that
absolutely,
and that could most definitely be what you were talented at. Like you might be a talented kicker, but that don't mean that equates to that's what your gift is. So sometimes people get stuck in that talent, like ball play, you know, sports. And they're like, well, okay, well, what am I supposed to do now? Like, that's just like if people retire and they've been in the military,
absolutely,
or law enforcement or something like that, and you worked all your life, all this time, and you've given to your country or to this police force. But then when you're not doing that anymore, you feel lost because you haven't really tapped into what your gifts are. And understood, you know, well, I'm talented at, you know, toting a gun. I'm talented at shooting a gun in the military, but that doesn't mean that that's what your true gift is. And I just think a lot of times we get kind of stuck on those talents.
And sometimes the gift is within that talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's making any sense. Like sometimes you can say I'm gifted at doing therapy, but no, I'm not really gifted at therapy. I just went to freaking school and learned some stuff and learn how to apply it to my personal life and all those things. But the gift may be my ability to show empathy, my ability to, you know, converse with people, to communicate with people, to be at a higher emotional intelligence than most. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes it's not necessarily the thing that you're doing, it's the gifts, it's the components within that. That's the gifts.
But if you don't really dive into it, then you don't ever know. I could say that, and we could even use our sister Candace. Like I feel like she has a gift with her hands when it comes to baking. Like I don't think she never really attended no school.
No, she never,
you know what I'm saying? It just kind of culinary arts. It's just what she do. Like we don't even know.
I don't even know when she first started. Like
we don't know, but we know that she's good at it. Now the other thing too is that she has taken time to learn new things, hone into it,
right.
Learn how to do different type of cakes, learn how to do different type of desserts. And so but to me, that is her gift.
Right.
Her talent could be, okay, the fact that she can market a business, or the fact that she, how to do extra toppers and stuff like that. But the baking of the cake, I feel like that is a gift. Or the baking of the sweets,
whatever
and treats.
it is.
That
side.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all go follow From Scratch
from scratch.
From Scratch by Candace. I'm telling you, it's like crack.
Yeah.
If you get once you get it one time, you're gonna be hitting her up like back to back. Like it's crack. I've never had crack, but I know.
I'm about to say, I just want to make the record. Let's set the record straight. I ain't never did crack, but
never did crack.
I feel like you taste a cake and you get that that melt in your mouth like grandma used to make. The pound cakes. And I still talk about that with Reggie. I'd be like, man, you remember Grandma Harmon? It didn't matter when you went to her house.
She always had a
pound cake underneath that cake.
Bring that back, grandmas. Y'all too busy out here being. I know you don't bake, but the grandmas that cook and stuff like that, like what those? You're not even grandma. You like memas and grandmas and stuff. But where the grandmas that actually like cook Sunday dinners? All that stuff. They just cook and bake for no reason. Yeah, I'm just in here making a Jello cake.
Like what?
Well, what? Like just for no reason.
When you come by, it's gonna be a cake.
Yeah, you just go in there and get you a slice of lemon cake. You know what I'm saying? I just know it. Just cause it's Wednesday, she cooking. You just smell it as soon as you walk in.
Yeah,
we need that back. We need that back.
But that's the difference. A gift. You know what I'm saying? And not being so stuck on, because me and Candace have this conversation like, as time changes, as times change, your business is going to change.
Right.
Who your customer base is should change as well. Like, because if you kind of stuck on the way that you did it 20 years ago, then things have evolved.
Right.
And you're going to be left behind.
Hopefully you have evolved. And if you haven't, that's kind of like, as soon as you said that, I'm thinking of like rappers, right? We would say we wouldn't want to hear nothing from no 40-plus-year-old rapper today.
Like MC Hammer?
Like MC Hammer or something like that. but then you got to look at the people that we've listened to over the years, over the decades. When we got Jay-Z, we have Nas, we have Kanye, we have all these different people that have evolved. Their music has evolved.
Right.
If Jay-Z was still talking about selling crack on the corner, you know what I'm saying? And Marcy Projects and girls, you be looking at him like, why?
Bro, you too old.
Bro, you too old.
Yeah.
Like, go sit down somewhere and raise your kids, you know what I'm saying? And go invest in something, When he said, throw the tall tees out and get a button up, you know what I'm saying? So it's all about evolving as an entrepreneur. So,
that's true.
But in that, talking about that, we also talk about the other side. And we talked about this earlier about, your support system, and how that could possibly influence you both on a positive level, but also on a negative level. And sometimes I feel like being an entrepreneur, because you just have that spirit and you're just a go-getter and you're almost willing to try almost anything to see if it'll work out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like some people don't have that. Hey, cuz. Some people don't have that same spirit, and they're more trying to exert and transfer their fear onto you.
Listen. I said it earlier when we was talking about this. I said, I don't. Hey, Doris, love you.
Yes.
I do not want to be around anybody that is a dream killer. Or when I talk to you about my dreams and my aspirations for my business, not your business, not your 9-to-5, for my business.
Right.
And soon as I'm talking to you, you're like, oh, that ain't gonna work. Or why you want to do that? Why don't you keep doing what you're doing? Why don't you stay out my damn business? But a lot of times people like that are the ones that we consider friends and family. And so why would they not want you to succeed? Like, why would they not?
Please answer that question. Y'all on this live. What's up, Doris? Love you too. Cause why do people that consider themselves your friends be the ultimate hater, blocker of your blessing, and attempted blocker, attempted blocker of your blessings? Why are the people that are closest to you sometimes the more what's the word I'm looking for? I want to come up with a word. Somebody fill in that blank, but they hating.
They hating. And I really think it may not necessarily have anything to do with the fact that you are in business or not. I feel like if you a hater now, you was always a hater, whether you family or a friend. I have definitely ended friendships with people that are stagnant and they are stuck. And so if me and you cool and or good friends and you don't have any drive,
right?
Especially if you own a business, but if you don't have any drive to like grow in life, they don't have to necessarily be
business. Right.
But if you don't have any desire to grow, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
If I talk to you and I'm telling you about something that's going on in my business as a friend, as soon as I tell you, you like, well, girl, I mean, let's go to the bar. Like, let's go have a drink. Well, did you just hear what I said? Like, did you just hear what I said? And so sometimes people, you know what I'm saying, the subtle messages that you're not interested in what I have going on in my business or my life is when people deflect and they just kind of brush it off like you didn't even say it. And I'm like, did you just... And so then for me, at this big old age that I am right now, I'm definitely going to fall back. Listen. I'm not begging people to be happy for me. And I'm not expecting you to be as happy for me as I am.
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like you should be excited just like I'm excited. Like if I tell you something, you should be just excited.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you should be just excited.
I don't even feel like you should be just as excited because it's not your baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if my significant other or whatever had a baby and you came in, I'm gonna be excited. She gonna be excited. You gonna be excited, but it ain't gonna be at the same level.
It might not be the same level, but I'm telling you, like about me, listen, I'm telling if you listen about me, if I tell you something significant other good, if I tell my business,
that's cuz checking in. That's Ryan over there. What's up, cuz?
If I tell you as like my sister friends, business sisters, like when I tell them something, they be super excited. I can feel their excitement through the text message.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? On a message. But if you like, oh, okay, that's dope.
And then you keep going, you go to something else.
No, you need to be excited. You need to take a moment and appreciate it. And I feel like where we kind of mess up at as entrepreneur or people is that we kind of we give people passes. Like we give people a pass.
Oh, that's just how they are.
That's just how the person is. You know, don't trip. And then they do it again. And you like, wait a minute. So you done got two signs that they really ain't, you know what I'm saying? They really ain't not on your team.
They want you to stay down with
them. They want you to be where they're at. And so if you don't realize that and boot them, you don't make room for the people that's going to celebrate you.
Ooh.
If you keep them negative people around, the ones that really want to celebrate you and really want to love on you are not gonna. You ain't gonna be checking for them.
Listen,
you ain't
because it's not a whole lot of room up there. Whatever your definition of success is, and it's different for everybody. But that top room, that upper room, is not the same as general population. Everybody else is down here. Not everybody's supposed to make it to that top floor. It's a pyramid for a reason. It goes smaller and smaller the higher you go up in life.
The less amount of people coming with you. Rick said, he said we give way too many passes after they show us who they are.
Absolutely.
I remember.
I learned that. I cut them off.
I cut them
off. Like I don't know. We already said it on this platform. Our cutoff game for our family in general, like it's crazy. Like listen, like I just told my sister, like I had a conversation with a friend that I've known since middle school, really, and talked about a different business opportunity that I was looking to get into, that I am getting into. That's just going to add to my portfolio of things that I'm already doing. But she laughed at it. And, sometimes handling critique, right? It's one thing to be constructive in your criticism.
Depending on who the message is.
Right. It's one thing to be constructive, but it's also another thing to place your fear or your lack of ability to hone into your entrepreneurial spirit and try to place it on me. That's something totally different. So laughing at me, right? And I'm glad that I've learned over these years not to listen. That's one benefit from a negative thing growing up, because I had a hard head growing up, right? I didn't listen. You know what I'm saying? I tested boundaries often and often got in trouble for it or whatever. But like I tell people in therapy, like you have to be able to learn how to find the positive in a negative situation or a negative thing. And me being hard-headed sometimes and stubborn as I am has made me a little bit more ambitious and successful in the things that I do. Because I'm very headstrong. When I focus on something that I want to do, I'm going to do it. And it's going to be dope. So you know that as a therapist, I'm a dope ass therapist. I can say that. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what other people think, I think I'm a dope ass therapist. Photography, I think I'm a dope ass photographer.
He said disrespectful laughing is a sign of jealousy.
It very much so
we talked about that.
And you know what? You know what I told the homie? I was like, who the fuck are you talking to? I swear to God, I said, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, you forgot who you talking to, right? And so at that moment, it was decided that I was going to end that relationship. So she probably blocked at this point. You know what I'm saying? Well, she is blocked at this point.
Ain't no probably. Maybe she on here.
She might be on here. I don't know. And I hope that she does hear it.
Oh gosh.
Because it's kind of like, bro, like if we're having like these types of conversations where we're talking about, expanding, our brands, success and all those things, and just talking about life in general, who are you to laugh?
I think
you know what I'm saying? Or to say that it's not going to work, or put your own personal preferences on what I'm doing and try to transfer that to me. As long as I ain't killing nobody babies, I ain't killing nobody, harming nobody, like what difference does it make?
That ain't even low key jealousy though. That's
just right there on my face.
I was like, what? But it just makes you think. I think I saw Cam Newton interview T.I. recently. And T.I. said, I'm not going to allow people in their inability to
What's going on?
How he worded.
Appreciate that. He told me happy belated birthday.
But I forgot how he worded it, but it was like people inability to understand and really listen to what I got going on, but then you're gonna decide that because it's not happening for you, or you can't see my vision or see what I'm doing, then you're just gonna say, well, that can't happen. I forgot how you have to look that up for you. And so people,
I mean, she was like, yo, like, it's not gonna work. Watch. I was like, yo, after I got off the phone with you, you still sending me messages like it's not gonna work, reconsider, you investing money. Like, it's my money.
But the other thing too is you would think that if it was coming from a genuine place, I could see if the person said, well, I did that.
Right.
And when I did it, I did this, and this, and it didn't work.
Right.
Or this is what happened when I did start this business venture. Like if you would have started off with that, then it might be a conversation. But I'm still looking at the messenger. Because if I don't really think that you are genuinely concerned or happy for me, then I'm really probably not listening to what you're saying. Like you have to have, to me, we have to have some investment in our relationship for me to, you know what I'm saying, listen to what you say. Like you can't tell me about being a business owner per se if you haven't owned a business.
Yeah.
Or you can't, I mean, you might can tell me if I'm talking about a particular part in my business, like you might, but you can't be like, well, you know, if you want to start your own business, like this is not the time. And what the fuck, what are you talking about? Like, why, but why are you telling me that?
Right.
And so then I'll be thinking
Right.
in my mind, like, what's the motive? Like, why are you saying that at this moment? And so I think when we think about, you know, the feedback and the criticism, like I think you always have to look at the messenger.
Yeah, what lens are you looking through in a sense? And you know, and for me, I always say like I'm glad that I don't listen to people. Because I probably and again, this is hometown, so hometown don't get pissed off, don't take it any type of way. But if I listen to people and didn't move to Charlotte with no job or anything, nothing, just moved after I graduated and I stayed there, I probably still would have been there. Probably locked up.
Yeah, because you
on the block.
You'd have been doing something.
You know what I'm saying? I'd have been doing something. You know what I'm saying? I ain't always been a therapist, you guys. I ain't always been the good guy that y'all see today.
Yeah, that's true. I think, and I mean, I just honestly think it's just a messenger, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I could, you know, we talked about that, but I'm not going to block you. I ain't gonna do none of that. I might block you on the phone. I'm not gonna block you on social media because I want you to see the same stuff that you saying wasn't gonna work, ain't gonna happen.
Yes.
I want you to see how the blessings unfold.
So that goes to the next point as far as like success as validation. When you come to a point to where you have transition or you're trying this particular thing, how do you personally, how do you determine whether something was successful or not? That thing that they say that you shouldn't have done and you did it anyway. How do you determine what success is? As you being validated in a sense, like, yeah, I did it. You know what I'm saying? And I was successful in blank, blank, blank. How do you identify that?
So, like, if I try something, are you saying like if you try a certain thing within your business or a business period? Like
within your business, outside of your business, it really just something that someone told you that, or you got some negative feedback or criticism that you shouldn't do and you did it anyway. How do you determine whether you're successful or not in that?
So I don't necessarily, I mean, the profit piece of it, yeah. You know, definitely.
You gotta make money, right?
You gotta make money.
Right.
But I think how if I try something in my business, depending on what I was looking for the outcome to be.
Right.
So like if I said if I, for example, in transportation, purchase another van based on a client, you know, giving more trips, but then that may not have worked out with that particular client. But further down, you know, because of stuff I might have did before, whether it's networking or marketing or whatever, I picked up another client anyway. And so I think success is measured definitely by, you know, if you make money and if it works, but it's not necessarily to me if it works right then.
Right.
If it's a added block to that business and your overall plan, I think it can still be looked at as a success.
Right.
What's up, Walter?
I feel the same way. Yeah, what's up, Walt? For me, success as far as like validation, when people said that I couldn't or shouldn't or I wouldn't do it, that in itself, if I took that forward step
to do it, just to do
it,
right,
that in itself for me is success. Now, whether it becomes profitable and I realize the ultimate vision or goal, that's something that, you know, time can't necessarily quantify in a sense. You know what I mean?
Shit.
Like, so if I say, you know what, sis, like I got this thought about this particular, you know, business that I want to do, and then you see me like really like making the steps to go toward that business, whether that's following the name, getting all these different things, moving in that direction. For me, that's me being successful. Now, whether, you know, seeds grow from that particular plant that I, you know, cemented, you know, that's something totally different. You know, that's 5 years from now, that's 10 years from now to go back and kind of reevaluate, you know, what worked, what didn't work.
Yeah.
But me taking a step towards any goal, any ambitions that I have, because I've rejected the notion of what failure looks like.
I was about to say, and the only way you would know, like you said, doing it, the only way you would know if it was a positive, negative, or whatever is if you do it.
Right.
So to me, if you don't do it, then you won't know. Like, so you have to
be successful if you don't do it.
If you don't do it. So failure could possibly happen, but I don't think that determines whether something was successful or not.
Absolutely.
I think if you learn the lesson from that, and you say, okay, well, I did this, and I tried this thing, and this didn't work, but I put added a little spin to it, did a little bit different.
Yeah.
And if I wouldn't have tried that first thing, then I wouldn't have known
to do
this other thing. So sometimes, I mean, to me, like, success is not always measured immediately, but like you said, sometimes that doing it, like just taking that leap and just doing it and saying, well, you know, worst case scenario, this shit don't work.
If that's the worst case scenario, and I still got life, which means I still got the chance, the ability to the willingness and the motivation to say, you know what, like, all right, you know, it's kind of like, and I'm an athlete at heart, so I'm always going to use correlations when it comes to sports. But but before a game, you do like the pregame kind of, you practice, you do all these things throughout the week. You game plan, you strategize, you do all these things, and then come game time, you try to implement that strategy. Sometimes it works.
Sometimes it don't.
Sometimes it don't. When it does work, you still try to pick out the certain things that you feel like you could have done better. Right. If you do take an L, you're like, okay, well, we tried this. We tried to pass it 50 times. And that didn't work. So sometimes we might need to hand the ball out to our running back and let him run the ball a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So the next game, we implement something different. So just because that was an L doesn't necessarily make it a failure. Right. It just allows you to go back to the drawing board and say what worked, what didn't work.
So maybe because it was a quote unquote what you might see as a failure doesn't mean it was a complete loss either.
Right.
So you could do something. It
can be a loss but not a failure.
Right. Like if you lose whatever, whether you lose time, whether you lose money, resource or whatever, relationships.
Yeah.
Like doing something, then that don't mean that it was a failure because you learned the lesson. Like everything is about learning the lesson, growing from it, and then saying, okay, how could I do this better?
Absolutely. So everything that we talk about here, you know, on the Be About Your Business, we talking entrepreneurship, but also this works in regular life, in your personal life. Just because those last 5 relationships didn't work doesn't mean that it's, you know, it's not going to work for you at all. That just means you got to go back to the drawing board and do some work within yourself. You need to do some internal work. You need to do some post-game analysis. This didn't work right here. This particular type of dude that I was trying to look at, or this particular type of chick, ain't for me. But if you keep going after that same type of person, you're going to get the same damn result. right? Yeah. Same thing in business. If you keep trying to do the same thing over and over and it ain't working, you need to the universe is telling you, motherfucker, do something else.
Do something else, right?
And there's nothing wrong with that, but because of our ego,
I'm about to say
we don't want to do it.
We don't want to let it go.
Right,
and that go back to the you thinking your business, you seeing it as your baby, so you like, I can't let it go. Like, I started this, and even because I was saying, even how my business is evolving at this moment, like it's evolving, and so when entrepreneurs start a business, a lot of times we start that business without the long-term goal in mind. Right. So when I say, when somebody asks me, well, you started in transportation, like, you got a fleet of vans, like, what you got? No. But what I want to do in my business is not, if that's what you want to do, if you want to have a fleet of vans and a bunch of, tour buses, that's your business model, and that's what you plan on doing. But don't look at it because mine is not what yours is or similar to yours.
Absolutely.
Then doesn't mean that, it's not a good business model or it's not going to work. It just means that mine is different from yours. And so sometimes people get kind of caught on what we think
that
it should look like,
of success.
What it should look like versus, what it looks like to you.
I get it all the time. I get calls Jamaican all the time.
But I saw a post where a lady said, again, it's probably on TikTok, but I saw a post where an older lady said, back, years ago, people would be like, it's no such thing as multitasking. You can't have all these tasks and all these businesses and all these things going on. Like, something is bound to fail. And she was like, that's not what that means. What that means is that you're unique. You're this great person that can focus on different things at different times.
Yeah.
Which, when I was listening to her, it makes sense, because you could focus on this particular business. You could say, for example, you may have therapy sessions in the day, and then you might stop what you're doing, and then you're going to have a photo shoot for a minute. And then when the photo shoot is done, we doing the podcast, or you might be like, okay, I'm going to go watch the game. And so it doesn't mean that one business is not going to work.
Right.
It doesn't mean that one is going to fail, one is going to be more successful. It just means that you're taking time out at that moment for this thing, whether it's from 8 to 10 or whatever, and then from 11 to whatever, you're focusing. And doesn't mean that your mind can't. All right, it's all about time management and how you divvy out yourself.
Right.
And so you can. I mean, when she said it, I was like, well, that made kind of sense, because people always like, oh, because I used to say, like, you can't multitask. Your brain can't be on with one thing at a time. And technically, it really can't.
That's true. But if I'm intentional from 8 to 10 doing this particular thing, I'm focused on this particular thing. And then from, 12 to 2, I'm focused over here. So I in a sense, you're not necessarily multitasking.
When people say that, I think they like, when people say multitasking, I think they're saying, okay, you're typing, you're looking at a training video at work, and then you're on the phone at the same time, and then you're, texting somebody. Technically, you can't do all those things at the same time.
Right.
So you're probably not paying attention. You got to pause doing something. So that's why.
Can't you tap your head and rub your stomach at the same time? That's still a struggle to this day, right? Tap
that's
your head.
Tough.
But if you were to just rub your stomach
and then
stop and then tap your head, you'll be more efficient.
It'll work.
It's more about efficiency than it is ability, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So
that make way more sense.
Hey, entrepreneurs.
That's what we do, though. I think, and I think, but that go back to, in the entrepreneurship journey, really the only way that you can truly be successful is to be like that. Because if you kind of focusing on this one thing in your business, or this, this one business, one thing or whatever. And so what you doing with the empty time? Like, are you focusing on multiple things in your business? Or are you just hoping and praying that there's one thing that you're doing and you sitting and waiting on that one to
You know
work?
what? You know what? It's a double-edged sword, right? Like when you think about it. Again, sports analogy.
You like a boy off of Tyler Perry, Why Did We Get Married? He used to use
Oh yeah.
What's his name? I can't. Michael Jalil.
Yeah, Michael Jai White. Yeah.
Jai White, yeah.
So I'm thinking of my favorite basketball player, Kobe, right?
Mm-hmm.
He'll be in the gym 8 hours,
Mm-hmm.
just shooting jumpers, trying to perfect his craft,
Right.
right? And he said more repetition, the better you become. You can't help but be great because I'm putting time into it. If I put more time in it than the average person, then I'm going to be
better.
I'm going to be more than average, right? I'm going to be above average. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, but being able to balance all of those things and being able to continuously learn as we evolve. The way that we do things, the way that we handle business, the way that we communicate with people, the way that we relate with people is going to change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. Like initially, we want to get the response from people like, what do y'all think about this particular business or how I'm doing all this stuff? And after a while, you'd be like, fuck them. You don't like it? Okay, I'm still going to do it.
Because 9 times out of 10, they're not. The people that you're telling that to or having that conversation with, they're not going to support whether it's the current thing or what you're trying to do. They're not going to support it anyway. So really, what they're saying is 10 times out of 10 not relevant.
Wow.
Like, it's not relevant because you wasn't supporting anyway. So why am I going to listen to what the hell I'm saying, what you saying?
Right. So we definitely, guys, this is a conversation. We're talking about the evolution of the entrepreneur. We talked about, what evolution looks like, what success looks like for the entrepreneur.
The fear.
How to handle that fear, the criticism, trying to distinguish between what's, corrective criticism versus jealousy and hate. How you manage those things in your professional life, but also in your personal life, and just being able to evolve. Because if you, again, like you said, if you're standing still, you're getting left behind.
Yeah.
So as a person, you have to evolve emotionally, physically, mentally, but also as a business, you have to evolve. You can't continuously do the same thing or practice the same way that you've been practicing all this time. I mean, you can have longevity in business because of consistency, but everything in your business doesn't have to be the same. Consistency doesn't necessarily mean the same.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? If we're evolving, consistency means I'm staying with that status quo. You know what I'm saying?
I think people kind of get that confused.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
if you're in business or you own a business, you're entrepreneur, whatever you want to call yourself, business owner, entrepreneur. I say there's 2 different things, but that's a whole nother talk show. But if you're thinking that, and we could just use, for example, like social media,
people
and being consistent doesn't mean that I'm going to talk about the same thing in every post. What consistent mean is that I'm showing up. I'm legit showing up for my business or family or whatever. But since we're talking about business, you're consistently showing up and being present in your business. If you go multiple days and you have not connected with a potential customer, you haven't marketed your business, then you probably want to rethink being in business. Because that consistency, like, is going to help you to grow, but also during those times where it's the customer base may not be as consistent. Your consistency on social media or marketing is what's going to help you get through it and either find, get new customers. But I think that consistency, people kind of is like, well, okay.
They know what to expect, whether that's, you being above average, like he or she is going to always excel. So whatever the average is or the status quo is, I know that Damien is going to be plus that. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so whatever the average therapist is, we know that Damien's gonna be above average because I'm not your average.
But that goes back to, so that's the final topic, is that learning.
Yeah.
So like you talked about, even with Kobe, if Kobe didn't stay in the gym, like how he said, well, when friends were going out to the club and stuff, I'm practicing. I'm in the gym practicing. So if he didn't do that, he probably would not have been the player that we, know and got to love.
Right, absolutely.
Sorry, y'all.
TikTok.
Sorry.
but like you said, like learning and progressing, but that's a part of being consistent. Like you're consistently evolving. Y'all gonna consistently get this inconsistent person right here. Right. You never know. You gonna get the intellectual. You gonna get the person that's emotionally intelligent. You gonna get the halfway G person like like I'm down for it. You gonna get the lover. You gonna get the jokester. You gonna get the introvert. You gonna get all those things because I'm all of those things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just in your business, same way, you got layers. We all got layers. Yeah. We're not the same thing for everybody, but we're consistently that thing. We're for everybody.
For everybody. But we're just not the same thing for everybody.
y'all catching these gems though? Like for real? Like listen.
It's straight off the top of the dome.
That's straight off the top of the dome right there. I'm consistently inconsistent, but the person that you consistently get is me. And it's inconsistent. So you never know what to expect.
You never know, but that's human nature still.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so even when you think about evolving, and if you are whatever industry or whatever type of business you have, and if you're not consistently trying to learn, then you're not going to evolve.
Yeah, you're going to fall to the wayside.
You're going to fall to the wayside because, again, that go back to Kobe Bryant. When you use that example, he practiced all the time. He practiced to perfect his craft.
Right.
And so if you're in whatever business, I'm in transportation, youth therapy, photography, if you're not continuously trying to learn, even as a therapist, trying to learn different ways to reach your clients, talk to your clients, get new clients, or even with photography, if you're not continuously doing that, then people are going to pass you. And so if I stay on top of my game as a business consultant, if I know the trends and I know what best practices are for my business, every time something changes, then I'm staying ahead of the game. I always say, we always talk about it's people in your industry that may do the same thing, but what sets you apart? And so if I'm staying up to date, the people that's doing the same thing as me, they doing stuff that I was doing last year.
Exactly.
Because you always trying to be forward thinking or ways that you can make your brand and your business better. So if that's continuously learning, taking workshops, trainings or whatever, but that's the only way you're gonna grow.
I definitely feel like that. Like I think I mentioned this on here before. I think I was like ahead of the curve when we're talking like mental health and putting on a podcast format.
Right.
And actually forward, just being open about it and making it fun and making it cool and making it, accepting to talk about, hey, like we all struggle, you know what I'm saying, with something.
With something. Ain't nobody out here not struggling.
Right.
And
just
if you
because you don't have a
business,
diagnosis, you know what I'm saying, that don't mean you don't struggle with depression or anxiety.
The fact that the forward thinking adds to what makes me feel like that is your gift. Because your forward thinking came from who gave you your gift.
Right.
And so when you think about it, you like, man, you had a gift, you had a dream, you had an idea, you moved on that.
Yeah.
And so now you have other people on social media
Absolutely.
platforms all the time.
And they're huge and they blowing up, and there's no jealousy. There's no hate at all. Like, content. I love it.
But somebody had to be the one that took the leap and started it. So whether, people don't know where they started, why they jumped on a podcast or YouTube or a platform to start, before people was doing it, you was already on the couch.
Yeah.
And you was already talking about mental health, whether it was
check them dates,
sex educate,
we talk about sex, pornography, we talk about addiction, we talk about
the
everything.
Different types of addiction. And so now, people feel more comfortable with talking about it. So even though you're gonna have people, I feel like that's gonna do or try to imitate.
Yeah.
And it's really okay. And I had to get to a place because I didn't always think that way.
Like that,
and I'm like, you're not even going, but that's the best form of flattery. If you want to imitate or do what I'm doing, have at it. It's like Lil Wayne said all the time, like, it's me. Like, I cannot be duplicated. Me, Stephanie, like, you might do some of the things that I do.
Right.
But Stephanie, you ain't gonna never find nobody like me. It ain't gonna. You ain't gonna never come across.
I'm that different slice of bread and bread out. It's a whole bunch of different breads, but I'm. I told somebody this before a while back. I don't forgot where I heard it from, but it was like, I'm him, not them.
Listen, I say it. I still say that. I'm her. I'm that girl. I'm not them. I'm not them. I'm him. And so, but that doesn't, as I feel like, it's never about being arrogant.
Right.
Or your ego. I just know I just know my skills. I know that what I do is what I do, and nobody can do what I do.
I know what I bring to the table.
And because I was trying not to say what I bring to the table, because I am the table.
Yeah, I'm the table. God damn it! I done built my own goddamn table. I done
built my own table, and I think when entrepreneurs, like, when we think about it like that, then when we talk about what sets you apart from somebody that's doing the same thing, what sets me apart is I am the table. I'm coming with the appetizer, the salad, the full course meal,
and the
dessert. And if you want some coffee afterwards, I'm coming.
It's a go box.
I'm coming with that.
Everything.
And so it's not wrong with being that way.
Yeah. But that's what makes you successful as an entrepreneur. If you don't believe in yourself, who else gonna believe in you?
If I don't think I'm that girl, who gonna think that? Nobody. Nobody's gonna think I'm that girl. You gotta
have that internal confidence first before that external confidence can ever validate what you know what I'm saying, what you feel about yourself. If I don't feel like I'm shit, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of what you say, you can say I'm the man, I'm all this, and I'm like, okay, appreciate it, but no. But until I say, yeah, I am that. You know,
that's when it's gonna come. That's what it is.
That's when it hit.
Yeah.
So
when that's even when I meet some entrepreneurs at networking events or talk to entrepreneurs about even getting out and attending networking events. And the importance is not always just going out and meeting people. It's really becoming more comfortable with your business and in that entrepreneurship skin, to where I'm okay with talking about my business. I don't care who listening. And when I walk into a room, like, I want people to be like, who is that? Who is this chick?
That
like,
energy.
Who is that?
The
energy. And so when you have that confidence in yourself and in your business, then people want to know more about you. People want to know, what is it that you do? Like, what type of business do you have? And so all that comes from really perfecting your craft.
Yeah. Hey man, listen, we can go. We went over a little bit today. But we had to catch y'all up. It was 2 weeks.
But we didn't start. We didn't start till like 45.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Because of technical difficulties.
Yeah. So hopefully, y'all got much out of this today. This evening. Of course, we can go all night.
Yeah. The evolution, I mean, the evolution constantly changing.
You know
and so you always have to be ready for that pivot or that transition in your business when you have to. When you realize something not working, don't be crazy and keep doing the same damn thing.
No, don't do it. Like, no, but know when to hold, know when to fold.
Know when to hold them.
You gotta know, and just because you fold, I don't mean that you fail. That just means that you done save you some money. If you're a gambling person, right, and you playing Texas Hold'em and all that, when you fold, that don't mean you failed. That means you live to see another day. You save yourself from going all in.
What movie was that from? You live to see.
That's on Friday.
Friday.
That's Pops.
He was like, fight. You live to see another day.
Yeah, so you gotta keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? You can't go all in and then expect to have some more money. Once you go all in, you out. Like you done. So being able to know when to fold and say, you know what, I gave it an effort or my best effort at that time. Now I've learned X, Y, Z. Now next time I get this same hand, I know how to play it a little bit different. Yeah,
for sure. It's got to be a lesson learned. Got to. Don't make them same mistakes over and over, because after a while they ain't mistakes.
It's intentional.
You just don't know what you're doing.
You just want to be down there.
You just want to be down there and stay down there. Like if you haven't learned from the errors that you made in your business, the mess ups or whatever, and you haven't like tweaked them to make them better, I don't know what you're doing, but you better do something different.
The color on this screen is different from the color on that one.
Yeah, that one is clear as crap.
That's that.
But that's the Android. This a Mac.
See the difference between the Mac.
It's such a big difference, y'all.
It's different. I'm telling you, the color is. Yeah, that's all to my photographers and videographers that have that Mac, that Sony Canon type thing. But again, with cell phones,
a big difference.
iPhone versus
my Galaxy is. Yours still look real clear.
That Galaxy, that's a 21. That ain't even a new.
You might have it on the what setting you got it on? I know it just look really clear.
This is straight out the box settings right here. I ain't changing nothing.
Talking about straight out the box.
I ain't changing nothing on that thing since I had time for an upgrade though. But again, you guys, appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all check the playbacks on Facebook, IG. Go to my page, my sister's page, Damian Jarrell on Facebook, Stephanie Harmon on Facebook. What are you, Stephanie Harmon on IG?
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie Harmon on IG, Not Your Average Therapist on IG. For me, make sure y'all like, follow, subscribe. Haran Enterprises on all social media platforms, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Check us out. You know, we're gonna drop some more stuff. We're gonna have some more awesome guests coming on. I got somebody with some energy, that we trying to solidify this date on that. She know who I'm talking about. We're gonna get you on here. But we got some other guests coming on for sure. As always, you guys, like, be about your business. In business and in life, man. We gonna holler at y'all.
Peace.